Whew, I tell you, it's they say it's not easy sometimes, but sometimes it's like fucking ridiculous. It is I, WJ Warrior Jr. here for another ongoing educational, fun-filled episode of, I was gonna say an hour, but you know what? I don't know how long these things last. I do them how long as I do them. Sometimes they're 15 minutes, sometimes they're half an hour, sometimes they're an hour, whatever. I go for as long as I can. you know, and not everything is so black and white or yin and yang or one way or the other, way or the highway kind of thing. You know, when I played chess competitively, I remember reading this or people talking about this. They would decompartmentalize the game into whatever the opening, the middle game, and then the end game. And they would say, book line, like it's there's tons of openings, right? Traps and stuff like that, but it's all book. It's all book. And then the end game, of course, it's all book also. Knowing how to mate with everything. But they say the middle game, it's like they say play the opening like a book, play the middle game like a magician, play the end game like a machine. I think it was Mikhail Tal. Tal said, "I'm going to take him into a deep, dark forest where 2 plus 2 is equal to 5." You it doesn't make sense, right? And that's what like a magician would do. I read this thing about how, Hans did this big sacrifice, didn't make much sense. But anyway, this is kind of like this equates to what I'm talking about because, it's like, well, I've listened to tons of stuff, guys, pickup artists talking about how to do pickup, how to, approach, how to ignore women. Look, I've heard it all. At least I feel like I've heard it all. And I'm not saying, way or that way. Like, I always condone the term experimentation. Experimentation. Things don't always work out. Now, was it Edison? It was a flop. It was an electronic voting machine, which actually, great idea. We have that now. But, at the time, it was a disaster. It just didn't work. And imagine the time, effort, energy put forth, and it didn't work. And so when I talk about this, when I talk about my experiences, now again, I'm not proclaiming I know how to go up to women and get my needs met. It's so easy. No, no, it's not. It's not. I live in a very Los Angeles is a very place where people are busy. They're busy going wherever they're going, when they're going, they're doing what they're doing. Doesn't matter if it's the weekend, weekday, weeknight, week, whatever. They're on the phones, they have their friends, they have all these things. And look, man, I've been everywhere, any club, any bar, any nightclub, whatever you name about it. Look, I'm almost 50 years old, man. So I drank again 25 years. I went everywhere. I went fucking everywhere. And do you know what I saw when I went everywhere? I saw the same thing pretty much everywhere you go. You see people with their friends. You see cliquish fucking places. Again, dancing, if I was a place like the music was good, I could get down. That was kind of fun. But again, times have changed. Times have changed. And it makes it more difficult. Like, I'm going to tell you what happened, not last night, because technically today's Saturday morning already, but it was Thursday. And I said to myself, I'm so used to going out, just practicing all day boxing and, working out. And I said, I got a day off, I don't want to think about school, till it starts in a couple days and everything. So on the train, I'm going to go to Claremont. you know, and there's this place out there. It's a totally 80s bar. Now there's a couple of them. There's the same owner. He owns one in Fullerton, and there's one in Corona. And the guy was telling me how big the one in Corona is, you know. And if you think about these areas, they're mostly like a Hispanic areas. Now I don't have a problem with that. I like Latino women, but you know, there's guys there. There's Latino dudes that they don't like me, you know, and I don't care because you know if the place is 80s, that's all we have. I mean, we all like the 80s music, so that's that, and I don't give a fuck, you know, like it's having a good time. And I knew kind of what I was getting in my, you know, I said, oh, Thursday, it's usually kind of like a, it's weird because, you know, there's like a group of colleges out there, Pomona College, Claremont, McKenna, Scripps. I mean, they're like bunched together in that area, and a couple miles away down Indian Hill Road is where this fucking 80s place is. And you would think, like, there's, God, kids live around there, you know? It's like, go when there's no class, you know, whatever, get our mind off of the fucking go out and dance and have a good time. And on the weekends, only open 3 days a week, so you would think, wow, you know, Thursday there'd be plenty of people there. It's not, you know, for whatever reason. On Friday and Saturday, I guess, you know, I guess people come from Pomona, whatever, and they go there. They have like a live band, tribute bands and stuff, and I noticed more people there. But I said Thursday, I got nothing to do. I said, fuck it, let's go out there. So I did. And, you know, there were a couple women, and I was dancing on the side, and one of them came up to me, pretty cute, good looking, and she goes, come on, dance with us. And I just said, I'm good here. And she gave me a thumbs up like this, like it was okay. And as the night progressed, like I didn't think, you know, I'd make a big deal about it, you know. So um, they left, and it's funny. I go outside sometimes, you know, you know, catch a breath, catch a breather, and it's funny. There's like this trailer, and this guy's got this dog that doesn't like anybody. And I always go out there and I go, "Where's the dog? Where's the dog?" And I guess like, you know, finally after, you know, I was there from 10 till 2 in the morning. Finally, like you let the dog out of the trailer. The dog gave you dog. You wouldn't stop. You know, like it just there's a dog. You know, it's like a I don't know what it is, like a cattle dog sort of, but not really. It's just a mixed mutt, but it just you. I love you. The dog's like bark. I won't shut up. You know, it's just that's our relationship. It's funny. It's a funny thing. But anyway, so I went out and those like there were four of those girls, and the girl that me to ask me to dance, she came back with her friend, and they were outside for a second. So you know, I made casual conversation. I said, "Hey, I hope you don't take it the wrong way, just dancing." And they go, "Oh no, we felt your good energy and everything." And I said, "Oh, that's cool." So I went back in there, and they were playing a couple Michael Jackson songs. I had my hat, you know, it's like a smaller fedora, and you know, girls were watching me do Michael, so I took off the hat and I positioned it and I threw it at her and she caught it perfectly. She put it on and started dancing. It was just really a cute connection, you know. She came back, gave me back the hat, you know, and she was done. You know, I offered to buy them, you know, bottles of water, you know, and they were like, "Oh, we're good." And I said, "All right, just Mike, just let it leave it at that." Then they waved as they left eventually, and they didn't ask me. You know, and you know what? I was okay with that. You know, like I was okay. I stayed. Now it's emptied out, and there's really nobody in there and thing. And I stayed because I go, well, my train coming back to L.A. It doesn't go till 4:30 in the morning. So my plan just it was like, you know, 1 o'clock. I said, might as well just stay here, dance, whatever, past the time till 2, then walk up this Indian Hill Road. There's like a Denny's there. They got a Norm's. There's like Motel 6. It's a little, and you know, go get something to eat, and then whatever, you know, take my time, walk up there, and then it's another mile, 2 miles to the train station. So that's exactly what I did. You know, I got some in it, and you know, I kind of you know, we'll just leave it at that. I'm at Denny's. I see like groups of people, look like group like of these Hispanic gay guys, and I go, wow, even out here, I don't have a problem with it, but it's just for some reason a lot of these guys they love to like say what's on their mind. Now, what I mean by that is, I don't care if you say what's on your mind, but why do you have to comment about me? Look at that guy sitting by himself. He's got a fanny pack or whatever. Mind your own fucking business. Like, what is your dumb, like, doesn't anybody teach you any manners, like, ever? Now, this carried over to I went to go, I went to go to the park to get a workout in, at like whatever 2:30 in the morning. That's like, again, it's a couple hours ago, and I go, like I said, I go when I go, I do what I do, and there was this guy with this woman. I didn't even bother looking, and I'm starting to do my warm up, starting to do my stuff, and the one they're kind of leaving, and I had put on my sunglasses. So I don't have to look at anybody. I was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? I want to know what he's doing." See that I'm training hard, like I'm warming up here. Like you're are you just going to give her any attention? And I never even looked at her body or her face, but I could tell by a silhouette or whatever, like she's not used to getting ignored, and that intrigued her. Now there's a woman that I have a lady friend that's my quote unquote massage therapist, and she's a very busty Latino woman. And she's about, she gets a lot of attention when she goes to the gym or whatever. And, I help her out, donate to her, when I hang out with her. Give her, I remember it was like 150, then it was 200, and then it's like 300 because we travel so far. But again, it's worth it because she helps me do it all the time. I do once every to do once every like 2 weeks. I'd see her now. It's like once every 3 weeks, so maybe even a little longer. But it's good to have a little bit of lady fun. Again, I don't hate women or anything like that. This is not. This is just part of like not giving them so much attention that they're used to. And what's important is you investing in yourself, not running around hoping to connect with one of these things. I mean, it just conveys lower social status when you're running around like a needy fucking bitch, like a needy bum, and that's what it is. I mean, I hate to say it, but even me, it doesn't matter if you're well kept. It doesn't matter. We have phones now. If you're going around asking anybody for anything, what the hell's the matter with you? We have technology. I don't know how to get here. Well, why not? Why don't you know how to get to where you need to go? You don't have a phone. You can't. If you can't afford this, it just shows that you've got nothing. And a woman doesn't want a guy with nothing. A woman doesn't want a guy with no potential, with nothing. They just don't. The bar is very, 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 very high here in Los Angeles. The condos are expensive. They're expensive. And women want the guys that are successful. They want a successful fucking man. Now, I always equate to success as being, mostly financial, mostly. You don't have to be, a bodybuilder, Miss Miller to have. Because again, you could walk around and be like a bodybuilder and be dead broke, and that doesn't. Who cares? Like that. Who is that guy? He's nobody. Looks for a woman. Looks for what I would call, mostly the status. That's the most important thing. Your security and your status. Your fitness is like, like it's not that important. It might be important to what you think is important to show other guys stuff like that, or women. They're gonna think like, oh, look at the muscles. Who cares? Who cares? It's not a deal. It really isn't. Now for a woman, it's everything. Now, what I mean by that is like for a guy, if a guy's visual and looks at a woman with a great shape and stuff like that, that's their MO. That's their calling card. Now, women, I'm not saying like for them looks are everything, but I mean, come on, explain all the beauty parlor, hair salons, nail places. I mean, who are they looking good for? Everybody? Who cares about everybody? It only matters really is the people that matter to you, and most important person that matters to you should be yourself. That's it. Um, but it's a superficial, Los Angeles and everywhere. Everybody trying to show somebody that they're somebody and what they are, and I don't care. The thing is, natural high that I get off of working out, and that substitutes me for my compulsive gambling addiction. So, I look at it like that. Like I gotta have, I go out there. I don't care, people watching me. I'm glad when they fucking leave. Like at 3, 4 in the morning, they're already out of there, not hanging. There's some of these stragglers though. Like good lord, they walk through the park, seeing me work out, and they all have to say something like, "Why don't you mind your own fucking business, you dumb faggot." I'm sorry, like I just get really mad, like I get agitated. Now I don't tell them that because I don't want to start up anything, but in my mind I'm thinking like, I am not giving you any attention, you group of fucking drunk fucking idiots. I mean, go mind your, you see I'm working out here. Go, I'm not talking to you, I'm not looking at you. Why do you have to antagonize me? Look at that guy. Let me try out this fucking idiots. And they go out there to see the rings like they can do it, like they're drunk, they're not even warmed up. That's how you fuck yourself up. If you don't know what you're doing, and then most people they usually percent them, they usually keep going, but sometimes they hang out there for prolonged 5-10 minutes because they really have nothing else to do. And it's like I'm sitting there here trying to use the things I'm trying to use, and these fucking people are in the way. What agitates me the most is when they start smoking. It's a park. You're not supposed to smoke in a fucking park, and if you don't need common decency to see somebody working out, doing cardio, jogging there, doing work, and you're gonna fucking smoke right in front of me, weed and everything. Are you a fucking dumb jackass? I just don't want to engage. So that's really what all this boils down to, is like everything. I don't care if it's the gays, I don't care if it's the women hanging around with them or just women, whatever. It's like they have no value to me. They have absolutely zero value to me. Like I'm there to create the best version of myself. I'm not there to help you. I'm not there to talk to you. And this one, some of these women, they're very surprised. They can't figure me out. They're trying to understand, why is this guy not giving me attention? Like he's not gay. He's straight and he's ignoring me. Like, well, wow, that gives you power. It gives you power. That, look, I mean, I look at it like this. Let's be frank and honest here. You could just put on a videos, whatever, like on the internet, and jack off if you want. Like it's easy. Like think about that. We, as men, I think it's really important that, we shouldn't, like, I'm not saying that a woman should be like below, but here's the problem. Like, we've created this society now where, where it's really ridiculous. I mean, we push the Schwarzes, with the stupid, all these shows now. Oh, it's give them, they've waited so long for television to give them, and I completely disagree. I completely disagree with all of this. The networks and movies is a business. You got to go with who's watching what population. The population of the United States is mostly Caucasian. That's your target demographic. So I don't know what the hell ABC, Disney, what the fuck somebody stuck up their ass, but they're trying to do this stuff. Now I have to admit, Star Wars, I haven't seen Solo, new Indiana Jones movie I'm interested in, but it just seems like everything is going whatever direction it's going, and I say it's going down, and I'm not going to go with it. I'm just going to do my thing by myself, and that's just fine. I go to the place by myself, I go to the park by myself, and then I go to a gym by myself, and I do all this shit on my own. I don't need, to talk to. I mean, even when I left, I was done with my workout. A group of these, the whatever enclave of people, like the group, when you fanny pick, like, why are you fucking? Why don't you mind your own fucking business? Like, I mean, I was gonna say I was leaving, but I just didn't want to start with these people because they're not worth it. they're so desperate to say something like that, anything that somebody don't even know. Like I've never done that. Like, I don't. That's the thing. Is a lot of these gays, their minds are warped. I'm very sorry to tell you. Now, I'm not saying all, but maybe they've had a couple in them, drinking. I don't know, but like, what is your fucking like? Why are you like? I know. I used to go to these places thinking that I could meet straight women there. I believe me. I had an open mind to everything, and it never happened. They became very defensive at times, seeing me hang around their place, their fucking bars. But then they come around my, thing when I'm training, and I'm like, well, what the fuck are you doing here? You're not here to work out. Get the fuck out of here. Like, I mean, I could do the same thing, but here's the thing: it's a public park, just like the places, those bars. There's a public, the bars have the right, whatever, but I can stand outside of their thing and look. Some people they would get very defensive. I had guys, these two gay guys one time that came up to me, put their camera, go, "You waiting for a ride? You waiting for a ride?" Like, and I could tell what they were saying was like, "Why are you standing here?" kind of thing. Like they know, they're not stupid. Like they're saying he's been trying to meet women here in our place, and it's not your place per se. Just like it's not my park per se. Anybody can work out there, whatever. So what I do is I bite my tongue. I shut up, and every time, even like when I seen people by themselves, guy with no shoes on doing a couple sets of pull-ups, whatever like that, they usually leave, whatever, because the area that I hang out with the pull-up bars, the rings, and the whatever it's designed, those are not easy. There's nothing really easy to do in that area. So those bars, all that in the area is hard, pretty much hard exercises to do. So, and they find that out really quick. They're trying or trying to use whatever, and they move on because they don't want to get. It's hard. Nobody wants to do what's hard. And so, I mean, I just, just the way society functions, this dumb thing. Work during the week and then go take a class at this time, and that's open during this time, and that can only be done during this time. I just don't prescribe to this normal way of thinking. Like I did that my whole life. I just like to go where I want. I want to do what I want, and I want to do it when I want. Now, again, you can't go dancing whenever you want. Places are only open at certain times and certain days or whatever. So, like, yeah, you have to conform your life to many things. The post office is open during this time, the bank's open during that time. The market's only, why can't the markets be open 24? I've talked about this so many fucking times. Things should be open, giving people opportunities for work. Give instead of like, oh, not hiring, laying off, making things harder. That's just all part of a scam that I believe. I not giving teachers tenure. Like I know I'm lateraling onto a different subject, but I want to talk about this for a second because I was waiting for the train. I had an hour to kill as I was waiting for the 4:30 in the morning train to take me from Claremont, and I sat there on my phone and I looked up tenure teaching positions, in the university, and there are like all these or around, locally California, whatever. It was like, you know, biochemistry, like fucking engineer, whatever the fucking the heart of physics, physicists, any kind of super hard something like tenure for USC or UCLA. And then things that there were some jobs that were so far away in Michigan, Wisconsin, Montana, or tenure for teaching, educational leadership or whatever. And again, I'm almost I'm a doctor candidate. I'm waiting for a grade to post, which should be any day now. But again, I'm still 3 classes away from my EDD degree, and it's just like, you know, it's so sparse. Like you think, oh, get your doctor, like it's a big deal, and it's not. It's not. The opportunities. It's all adjunct. Adjunct is what they should call it. It's total bullshit that you're you know super competitive job market. We're talking about education. There should be plenty of stuff. Schools should have plenty of opportunities to teach ones, and I just don't give a fuck. I really don't. I'm not going to beg. I'm not going to fucking beg for a job opportunity. I just don't fucking care. I really don't. Um, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Now, I want to finish what I started about ignoring women, ignorance again. So when I went out on Thursday night, I ignored those women that were there. I danced by myself. I wound up talking with them and let things go like that. It wasn't that big of a deal to me. And that's what you need to realize. You get older, hopefully, things will not be that big of a deal to you too. Now, again, I don't have crazy numbers over my lifetime, tons and tons of success getting laid or whatever. I don't. Very little, surprisingly. You would think I'm almost 50 years old, and you're like, that's it. That's all you've ever. Yes, I haven't gotten that much because I'm not. I already explained how shy, combative I was, and that I don't drink anymore. I've been to them all. I went everywhere. You're going to find basically the same thing wherever you go. You're going to see the same, you know, group. These people. They're cliquish. They're friends. Whatever, like that. You're going to be an unknown, and usually that's not a good thing. Some people might come up to you, want to know who you are. Once they size you up very quickly and find out that you're nobody, then you're basically going to be excommunicated, that you're not needed. Like then you become part of a problem. Believe me, people size you up very, very quickly. I know. I've been through it all. I have done it all again. So my best advice is that, look, just try to do your own thing, invest in yourself, create the best version of yourself. I used to say to myself, okay, like, you got to sit down and really try to figure out, like, what you're lacking, like it's something. And it's hard, believe me, I know. Um, and try to look at like this balance. Say to myself, all right, a third percent, and you'll see on the other factors, is your finances. Your credit's fucked up. You don't have any money. You don't own any property. That should be like a majority of your life, because that provides security, that attracts women that way. Money, it equates to everything. You don't own anything. You don't have anything. They don't care. Who cares if you're a nice guy? Everybody's a nice guy. They show these guys that are bad people on television. Yeah, that they make the news, the anomalies. Look, most people are okay. That they're whatever. So your main thing is your like 40%, maybe more. Like is financial. Like it's all financial. And I clump that together with owning property. You own something. You gotta have something that equates to like who you are, what you have to offer something. Now, it doesn't mean offer like give them, but that means like you are, like it's like being the man in high school, like that gets the attention now, but it's in the real world. You got to be what they call a mensch. You got to have something. Um, the physical, the fitness. I don't lie on the thing. 20 to 30%. And that's a good, that's still a decent amount, but it ranks below what the status, like the finances. The last percentage is kind of like, I would call it education. But again, educated is like smarts overall. So in general, like the majority, I would say like the biggest percentage again is the financial. I would put then the education of like just overall, what as a person, your philosophies, your education of how you handle situations, your mannerisms, not getting flustered, easily, like just all of it. I call that education, like it just falls all under that. And then like the smallest percentage, again, probably 20 to 30%, is your physical, like in good shape, You don't have to be a bodybuilder, but you can't even walk a mile, you're in trouble. I'm not exaggerating. I could walk 100 miles if I had to, I could. I could do it no problem. I'm not bullshitting. I could. Like if somebody said, we need you here, like in San Diego, like in 3 days, and there's no train, there's no buses or nothing, I could walk there. Okay, because I'm in that damn good condition. Now I'm an now the financial will come. But the problem is, see, my problem is I fucked up because my gambling addiction got the best of me. Took away a lot of my finances. But you see, you attack a problem. If you're uneducated, you spend some time, focus on how to create a better educated version of yourself. If you're not in good shape, figure out a way to create a better shape for yourself. Some of these fucking people, they got money and they don't know how to do it. And I don't want to name names or nothing, but I know plenty of people that, they got money, but they don't know how to invest in themselves. They make excuses. They don't have this. I don't have money. I don't have this. I don't have that. Why? Because you have no plan. And somebody without a plan has no, they just can sit around. I don't have. When I'm trained, it's funny. Like I'm working out in the park, right? A couple hours ago, and I see this guy. I don't want to say what race. It doesn't matter. He takes a bike and he goes there and he just sits there on the bench. He just sits there. And like, what is that guy doing? He's doing nothing. He's doing nothing. And here we are, like in the 21st century, like we got internet now. You could be doing something all hours. You could be fucking educating yourself. You could be going out there trying to find an opportunity. There's a million things you can do. There's a million fucking things you could do. But the people that don't do anything, they just sit around or they just complain or they find a reason why I don't have time for this. I can't become this. All right, well, there you go. There you go. You're never going to have because you never attacked a problem. And that's one thing I like to do. I like to attack problems. I have free time, so I'm going to fucking exercise. Like that's what I like to do. I like something that gives me some type of natural high when I have the fucking time. Don't like sitting around watching fucking, it's too much stuff because it's other people making money while they're doing. I don't like other people doing and me watching. Watching is not doing, okay? Doing is doing. And that's very important. You want to be a doer. You don't want to just sit around, watch other people, the herd, It's funny, I got this thing from Marshall University, and it says, find out how to be part of the herd. I go, part of the herd? Are you out of your fucking mind? I'm not a fucking part of the herd. I'm a fucking my own. I follow my own. It was Henry David Thoreau. Go to beat to your own drum, man. Fuck the herd. Like yeah, you do a job and you have a place to live and do this. Yeah, you know what? Is that really living? Is that really fucking living? I see these people like they look like these mail carriers. I know people. I'm not trying to disrespect people that work in the federal sector or whatever like that, but they look like they're dead. I mean, they really do. They look like they're worn out. They're not in good shape. They're like, just like going through it. Like I gotta do this kind of thing. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, "Good Lord, like that is that a life? I mean, is that a fucking Jesus Christ superstar? I just don't get it sometimes." Um, but anyway, that's really all I want to say about that. The closing thoughts. Like I guess on the ignorance. It's not ignorance. By focusing on yourself. Look, women, they're used to getting so much attention. When I got back from Claremont, there's this private gym that opened up not far from me, and that's all blacked out windows. These fucking people don't like to be stared at and looked at while they're exercising. People are so self-conscious. It makes me sick. They have no backbone, especially all these faggots in West Hollywood. I mean, I'm very sorry to be so brutally honest and everything like that, but it's just natural agitation. And it's better to be open and honest about how you feel than to be closed and holding back. Again, I have no issues really with the gays. And what do you call it? Because you know what? When people get under your skin, it creates a natural agitation. It's a normal thing. And you know what? They've never helped me meet women or anything like that. I know they're not supposed. They don't have to do anything. But again, it's like just they just. A friend of mine said they just get in the way. Like meeting women, and it's not really just them getting in the way. It's everything gets in the way. This gets in the way. Friends, whatever. Places, busy, because the bar is so high. I think it's like the top 1% guys are hottest women. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, think about it. If I had unlimited resources, I could just get, I remember these women, these porn stars I've always wanted, like $1,500, $1,000, or I would give it to them. Like I would just, so I could do whatever I want with them. And I'd have fun, like they're helping them, they're helping you, but again, you're talking about a lot of money. Somebody that's a millionaire, $1,000 is like nothing, like unless they're a cheap a miser, like there are plenty of those out there, like my ex-girlfriend was one of them. She's a fucking real cheapo, El Cheapo, and that's why I got rid of her. I want to be around somebody that's not going to give you what you want out of life. Life's too short. Why waste it with the wrong person? A lot of people do hang around people because you're scared to be by yourself, scared to create your own best version of yourself, and it's hard. Believe me. You think it's easy when I go out there and I ignore women trying to talk to me? Go ahead and you try to fucking do that and see how hard it is. All these guys act like they're so tough. They're so tough. You know what they are? They're a smoke screen is what they are. They go. I call it the Eminem attitude. You know that the hold on. I'll do it better. The yo, man, what I'm saying? I'm a fucking tough motherfucker from the streets, yeah, man, I kick your fucking ass, man, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, I'm saying, motherfuckers, that kind of jabroni, whatever kind of guys out there, I don't care if they're Schwarzes, Mexicans, whatever the fuck they are, they come across like they're tough, that's a smoke screen, you know what fucking tough is in life? Is creating the absolute best version of yourself. And I'm not talking about doing some push-ups in the jail or whatever like that. Those are idiots, this bar big, whatever. These guys, they think because they're in shape or whatever, the gym, whatever, or they just like can fight or something like that. That's not tough. You know what tough is? Tough is creating version of yourself academically, philosophically, physically, mentally, and financially. Most important thing. That's fucking tough. What a real mensch is, okay? And not somebody that goes around with the thug mentality or whatever. Like that ain't nothing. That is fucking zero, zero. Now, you see, with me, I try to work on everything. Okay, I work on everything that I create. I say, oh, hey, you know what? I want to try to do. I got into boxing. I say, hey, I'm gonna fucking try this shit. This is fucking fun. Creating the best, and you get really cut up from boxing. Like you can see the muscles, like the striations. So man, let me tell. I've never had a weight problem. Like I was always skinny when I was young. But you got to think about this. You get older, if you put on just a measly 5 pounds a year, just five, it's nothing, right? 10 years is 50. So that's what happens. Most people they gain over the span of 10 years 50 pounds. Oh my God! I mean that's like that's if you weighed you were like kind of average sedentary, 175, which is kind of an average kind of person, then you're 225, you're going to be fat. And even somebody 175 that's sedentary, that's not good either. It's not good. Like I told you, I could walk 100 miles if I had to. Okay, how many fucking people can do that? Not many. Okay, so like I said, I went to trade station down in the fucking. I did stop at In-N-Out Burger, had a shake on the way, and a burger. But again, I was there and back. That's an easy 5 6 miles. And then I fucking danced for 4 hours. Pretty much, I didn't sit down time. So for 4 hours of dancing and walk another 6 miles. I was tired when I got home. It was like I was up for when I left. It was like 5 in the afternoon. When I got back, it was around 7 in the morning. So over 12 hours going out and shopping around. I was really tired. But the thing fucking go out there, oh, you didn't get laid, you didn't get anything. Hey, yeah, I know. But you know what? It's better than fucking going and sitting around with a bunch of idiots and the same shit and the same nothing, sitting there getting drunk or whatever, going to some place for nothing, hoping something walks in. You ain't gonna stand out. You ain't gonna meet her. You ain't gonna think about from ignoring them, from people, from the amount of people that have watched me working out or whatever like that have been looking at me, or women have been talking to me. I've been getting more attention from not talking to anybody than I've ever gotten from going up and trying to hit on women that out of the blue that you don't even fucking know. Let me tell you something. My point of all of this is that focus on yourself. Create the best version of yourself. Don't fucking worry about them. They will come. And guess what? And if they don't come, it's a fucking loss, man. Don't worry about them. Worry about yourself. I'm just telling you. It's like the best investment you can make is in yourself. Don't invest in them. They can leave you anytime. And worse, they can take whatever you have, that you work. So that's why the divorce rate's so high, man. Look at the facts. Look at the reality of it. My uncle, man. My uncle worked his ass off in the limousine business. Married this fucking Jap, who's my aunt, and she's cute and everything like that. And they had a kid together, and then and whatever, like and the family friends, whatever. There was my uncle even told me, he goes, we had friends, we had some friends, and when he got divorced, I knew I was in trouble. That's what he said. What are you talking about? You got a kid, everything. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. The guy's worth like 10 times the net worth what my uncle was worth. When that guy got divorced, my aunt ran to him. So there you go. How robotic and mechanical. Security trumps everything. The security, it was the same thing that happened to my uncle when he was in high school. There was this older guy, like he was a producer and everything like that. He had money, and his girlfriend, who he's with now, ironically, because the guy died. The only reason why that she went with him. So I put security is the most important. I mean, I don't I should say, more than half. I should say like 40 to 60%. It's an immense thing. Like to have something to offer. It just encompasses everything. The fitness thing is if you're grossly out of shape, I mean, then more of the effort should be allocated toward that. Yes, but most people, again, it's not having nothing to offer. That's the most important thing as far as being able to get what you want. Most of it's women, like that. That's what it is. That's what it is. You got nothing to offer. You're not gonna attract. You're just not gonna attract it. I mean, that's just the way it is. That's why celebrities get everything, because their broadcast, their status broadcast, and everybody knows they got money. That's what it is. It's status, it's power. Money pays for all those things. Whatever you want, good food. How much. I think about how much money you spend on good food costs fucking money. Gas is going up. I don't have a car, but gas. It all costs money. Everything costs fucking money. Somebody brings to the table. Most of that is financial, and having something to offer. So I know that you probably heard a lot about that from other people, but my way I explain it is in my own unique way, of understanding, breaking things down, decompartmentalizing them into, the science of understanding so you can go after whatever the fuck it is you want in your life. Having to support pets, I don't want any of that. I don't care, it doesn't mean nothing to me. I like to go where I want. Now I'm really agitated because if money wasn't my problem, I would have been at that fucking game at Dodger Stadium. I would have been. I would have had a shot at that number 700. But again, I didn't have a ticket. I thought I'd wait a game. I didn't care. And so money, like it helps you get whatever the fuck you want. Like, and when you don't have it, women can sense that too. Believe me, they're a lot smarter than you can think. They can look at you, they size you up. It doesn't matter. I go out there, I dance, it's cute and everything like that, but it's not enough. It isn't. It isn't. I dance for me. Everything I do, you have to remember, everything you do should be for yourself. I know you want to attract the women. I know you do, but again, the problem herein lies when you don't create the best version of yourself, then those insecurities, those things that aren't good, they show. They the women can see them. Like, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be again in incredible condition, but like, do you want a woman that's like does not in good shape? Like, if it's like, well, then you should be. I've seen plenty of guys that don't even work out. They're with beautiful women, but they have so much else to offer. That's what it is. Like, it's what you don't see. They don't have to show you. Who knows how much those guys are paying for those women, but they're getting what they want, exactly what they want. There's nothing special about you. Actually, well, you're unique in your own way. That's what makes you special. But it's not good enough. You can't. That's not a selling point. You have to have something to show what separates you from other guys in your own unique way in order to lasso, to corral that kind of woman. That's why, and I'm a good guy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Choices. Those women they think about that. They don't need the win. They don't care. They got fucking money. They get it. It's nothing for them. They can go anywhere to private clubs, bars, wherever, and they shine. Like, it's like Leonardo DiCaprio, whatever. My friend was telling me a story like that. Can you imagine? Like, women, and wherever that guy goes, they can get anything he wants. That's the. You don't have to be him, but do you see how it works? That's how it works. It's very linear, robotic, and mechanical. The way things are, the way things are. The divorce rate is that high. That's the way it is. Things are that the way that they are. So I don't mind paying. I don't mind getting what I want. And I don't mind going after things that I want. But again, you have to challenge yourself. You have to create the best version of yourself and experiment. Remember that what I said, experiment. Try ignoring women. I mean, don't even look at you. See, there's the reasons. I remember this one girl told me every guy was looking except the one guy wasn't, and she was curious why. She was curious about that guy, just like that one woman tonight. She tried to talk to me. I didn't ignore her. I didn't matter. It didn't fucking matter. That gay guy. She was. Let's go. You told me. Good. I don't care. I'm not there to show off for you. I'm not there to work out for you. I'm there for me. I'm there to create the version of myself. Have a good fucking night. And that's it. Trying to fucking impress anybody. Don't give them anything. And just focus on yourself. Focus on your fucking self, man. And, something finds you great. And if they don't, that's okay too. Again, you can only watch porn and jack off if you don't need. I'm telling you, like, it's just stupid. These women, they're getting too much power and too much attention. I just don't believe they deserve any of it. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to bring them down, but I'm just saying the problem herein lies that we don't have an equal playing field of 50-50, like, an even thing. Problem is these guys, I mean, giving these women fucking everything and ruining the whole dynamic of society. Sorry. anyway, that's all for now. I hope you got something off of this one, and that's that. Just